Morning, gentlemen. Admiral Haney, let me just start by saying I really enjoyed having a chance to sit and visit with you. I'm very much looking forward to, as the chairman of the Strategic Forces Subcommittee, working with you and Senator Sessions, the ranking member, and the rest of the subcommittee to make sure that our strategic deterrent remains safe, reliable, and affordable. We talked quite a bit about the affordability factor, but it'll be a great privilege to work with you. General Alexander, as always, it's good to see you. I know that you, as Senator McCain suggested, may have mixed feelings about this being your last appearance before the committee, and I too want to thank you for your 4 decades of service to our country. That said, I remain concerned about NSA's surveillance activities and the constitutional ramifications when it comes to our liberties, and I'd be remiss if I didn't address those concerns today, for at least for old times' sake. And I would add that your knowledge is vast, and I really appreciated your initial comments about how we move forward when it comes to particularly Section 215 and 702. And I did want to make a couple of comments about Section 215, then ask you a question. You know well that members of Congress, I think as long ago as 7 years, were asking questions about the use of Section 215. They and I learned that we really couldn't have an open, informed debate about the law because the official meaning of the law was secret, and that concerned a number of us. It concerned me even more when I joined the Intelligence Committee here on the Senate side 3 years ago, and I was able to take some time in classified settings to better try and understand what was going on. And it felt to me like, and I believe this strongly, that secret laws undermine trust and authority, and then that erodes and damages our capacity to fight terrorism and protect the American people. And then when the public learns that government officials have been rewriting the law in secret, confidence is undermined, and then it makes it harder for you to do the job you want to do and the job that I admire you for doing. And I believe that confidence has been undermined with regard to the Patriot Act. So my question to you is, and I think you'll have opportunities to answer this as a civilian as well, because I think people are going to want to hear your point of view, given your broad experience. Do you think it was wise to keep classified the interpretation of the law itself? And then what advice would you give to your successor to help him understand the importance of making the boundaries of the law clear to the public?
I think the rationale, Senator, for going in and keeping this secret was sound at the beginning. I think hindsight says, could we and should we have done more? I think that's the open debate right now. My concern is, now that terrorists know how we do this, do they learn such that we can't stop them? I think the real issue that I see is we're giving away a capability, which means there's one less tool, or that tool at least is minimized in its capability for stopping terrorist attacks and understanding what they're up to, and for other issues like that. I do think, though, given where we are today, we have to be transparent on this and the cyber legislation so the American people can enter into it. And that is, here's how we would propose doing this data. I think that debate that the administration would put forward is one that should be open. Mm-hmm. And I think if we do that right for this set of data, we can then look at cyber legislation in a parallel effort and do that right as well, and in an open session. So I think those two would be a good way to move forward.
I want to note for the record as well that I hear you continuing to emphasize we really do need to get cyber legislation through the Congress. I also hear you implying, and I think saying directly, that we can figure out how to have the right kind of approach to metadata. And again, I want to let you know I appreciate your willingness to work on that as we move forward per the President's recommendations. If I might, I'd like to turn to Admiral Haney and talk about the crews that operate our ICBMs. And we've been well aware of some of the stories over the last couple of months about what's been happening. I think the missile crew might pull 8 alerts per month, and they spend time in the capsule in addition to briefings, preparing for their shifts, and actually getting out to the missile field, so that a 24-hour alert actually lasts about 3 days. Again, that would equal 8 times per month. And the airmen are kept very busy during their alerts with training exercises and drills. That only leaves 6 days off a month which is when the crews study for the exams, where they, I think, have to have a perfect score to pass. I'm extremely concerned, you are extremely concerned about the reports of cheating on those exams, and I fully support a thorough investigation and appropriate disciplinary action. But there's a real need to address the root causes of some of the morale and discipline issues that have begun to surface. Can you talk about what's done to prevent burnout in the missile crews? And they're bright, they're talented, they're incredibly committed. How do we keep them focused on this deadly serious mission and then make sure they've got opportunities for advancement and development?
Senator, I think those are very important questions. And these are questions that are, in fact, being looked at in the series of reviews that are ongoing, first within the Air Force and the Command-Directed Investigation, as well as the Force Improvement Program, which is more of a grassroots look at this holistically. I have people on that team as well. In addition to the reviews that have been led by the Secretary of Defense in looking at the nuclear enterprise in its entirety. I do believe, though, from personal experience, going down, being in the alert facilities and the capsules with our combat alert crews, though, that through the scattering of articles, it really makes it look like that the majority of them are not dedicated to the mission. I'm here to tell you that is absolutely false. I've met a number of these talented individuals that are very proud of serving our country as missileers in that community. And quite frankly, they are distraught over one thing in particular, and that is their colleagues, that few of them that have in fact cheated and really feel that they are getting a broad grade instead of the grade that they deserve because they have been carrying out this mission day in and day out. Clearly, we're looking at the methodologies of evaluations versus certification. I'm working hand in hand with the Air Force to make sure we look at that hard and get it right.
Thank you, Admiral.